Hello, welcome to Paradice. Welcome to our show, Adrift in Paradise, Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. I'm gonna bring Shannon on now. Say hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Shannon, what the hell's going on? What the hell's up?
Well, it's Monday, so that means we're playing D&D. That's pretty cool. But I guess I could also talk about our awesome partners. How's that sound?
Let's do
it. I'm going to start with Arcane Spectacles. Step into Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice vaults and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any tabletop RPG enthusiast. Along with their personalized D&D theme... Oops, I read that wrong. And with their personalized D&D themes Christmas ornaments, you can keep the magic of your games alive all year round. Each ornament can be customized with your party's names, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate tabletop experience. Moving right along to Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling, Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre you can imagine. Imagine. Each setting includes everything. Yeah, yes, that happened. I lost my spot.
You're crushing it. Keep going.
Thanks. There's my spot. Okay. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. Their current focus is Harrow the Blighted Plain, a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds they create. Do the thing. Also do the thing and go check out Eddie Yorke, our character artist. He's an illustrator based in I'm going to tell you right now. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com, and that's Yorke with an E. Yorke. YORKE.com. Yorke. And last but certainly not least, we have 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop role-playing games. Sean uses their NPC cards, and they're fucking awesome. So go check out their stuff and use the code PARADISEPROD for 10% off your entire order. Let's see. Last couple of things here before we get started. Our Campaign 1 backlog is up to date. So if you want to go and check out our first adventure, it's all on YouTube. So go do that. Also on YouTube are the... Oh, okay. You're just reacting.
I'm just reacting to you.
Yeah, okay, great. Also on YouTube are the VODs for the Sean and Shannon Power Hour, where we recap the episodes of the current campaign. But those recaps are also on Discord, which Sean writes for us every week. They're wonderful and a really easy way to catch up. So if you have not already joined us on Discord, do that. If you are interested in
Jacquette's name wrong for the last 7 episodes in the recaps.
Oh no, how do you spell it?
I've been adding a C to it for some reason.
Oh, I was too. And then there's no C. Okay. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode or two of our flagship show here, shoot us an email at paradiserpg.com and join us in Paradise on all the socials: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok.
All those places.
I need to get my notes set up.
Anything else,
here.
Shannon?
Nope.
All right, let's bring the rest of the folks on.
Do it. It's April. Holy shit.
It is. But what month is it in Aldhalor, Shannon?
I can tell you.
It's Maravala.
God damn it, Stefan. I was getting there.
I don't even need my notes for that. It's been Maravala.
You need my notes for that.
What day is it?
The 57th.
Monday. Tursdog.
Tursdog. Is it? Yes, it's
Killer.
the 9th.
Killer.
It's the
Tears
9th.
dog. The 9th of Tears dog.
Tears dog. No, the 9th of Maravala on a Tears dog. In the year
9th
13
of Tears Vog of Mara.
Tears dog.
29.
Pronounced
Damn.
Tears Mom.
It is
Tears
actually
Mom.
pronounced Tears Mom. I've decided.
Also in Gwenvalier dates, it's the 9th of Septim on Maris.
Septimus? Septimus Day?
No.
It's Septimus Day.
Yeah.
No, it's actually
Septimus
Septimus
Day.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Septimus, born in the month of Septim.
Hey, Sean, just quick note. The battle cam thing is on the stream.
Thank you.
Yeah, boss.
No, that's how it's OBS is joining us tonight.
Ooh, fantastic. What are they playing?
Oh, look, it's Jacket. They're playing the battle cam. Alrighty. Should we get into tonight's events?
No, let's just keep on chatting on days.
Let's just hang out for a little bit.
You need a recap first, Sean.
All right. So, last we met, our adventurers, these 5 folks here, entered the Lighthouse District with the intention of staking out the apartment owned by Captain Otto Hastings, the man who presumably betrayed the trio we have here, as he is the captain of the Bone Rattler. The party meandered through the district, hoping not to draw attention to themselves, and successfully found 29 Beacon Street, a mundane building surrounded by similarly mundane structures. Most folk abandoned these tenement houses. Let's change this music up a little. Most folk abandoned these tenement homes when the great storm struck the lighthouse down upon the district. Half the homes were destroyed, and the city stopped providing support to the neighborhoods. Now, loners and those hiding from the Commodore's law office find shelter in the ruin. Fearn and Jaquette questioned one of these loners, a young musician practicing violin in their small one-bedroom apartment. She knew little and said she never really saw anyone coming or going from 29 Beacon Street, but she did admit that she saw candlelight in the house at night, presuming somebody had been spending some time there. While they questioned her, the rest of the party made their way into the abandoned building on the other side of 29 Beacon Street. 27 Beacon Street, if you will. And started to set up a stakeout in there after climbing up the back walk-up and Sass cleverly missy-stepping through a keyhole with her double sight as well. Now, they found themselves a bit uneasy within this building because they discovered a corpse on the lower level. And this corpse had an L tattooed onto its cheek, a familiar pirate brand Sass is familiar with that's meant to discern someone who's lied to their captain. The party reunited here after Jaquette overheard a woman's voice from Hastings' apartment balcony. Furthermore, Bruce, trying to put the dead body out of his mind, as it is the first one he's ever seen, began to look for signs of magic, and detected heavy traces of magic almost billowing out of the next building like a plume of smoke. Ultimately, you all gathered here and watched deep into the night for signs of activity. Now, you did see that candlelight after Jaquette had confirmed there was a woman in there. You didn't see her go, leave, or come back. Leave or go, or anything. But eventually, the party utilized Fearn's magic to jump from rooftop to rooftop using a feather fall with little to no noise, so they could discreetly spy closer on this woman. And they discovered an older woman in there, tinkering at a workbench inside. Jaquette began to confront the woman quietly, telling her to put her hands up. Fearn took this as a sign to advance and rushed in with his sword drawn. The party followed quickly, with Sass turning invisible to begin snooping around. The woman surrendered, but refused to give up much information other than that Hastings was her landlord. As Fearn searched her, a mechanical crab bit down on his hand with a critical strike, causing blood to splatter everywhere. This caused a bit of chaos at that point, as the woman attempted to flee after Jacquette cast dissonant whispers on her, causing her to run away. Septimus and Bruce took this opportunity to begin searching the woman's belongings as the rest chased her. The trio cut the woman off and knocked her unconscious, while Bruce and Septimus found documents with Hastings information. Amidst the chaos, the party now must sort this strange workshop out and question Professor Sindel Ferrix, their new captive. So, yes, I agree. So
that made it through? Oh, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
it always makes it through, Mike.
The best was when they were discussing the dates, and I just heard a big old burp. It was beautiful.
Okay. So, the woman is unconscious downstairs, non-lethally unconscious. Upstairs, Bruce and Septimus have found some documents within a bag in the bedroom that, at the very least, you've identified have Hastings' name on them and seem to be correspondence, not, as I said last week, not a late rent paycheck or anything like that. And the other three are downstairs right now. Now, this wasn't exactly a quiet capture, but you can maybe hope that the abandonedness of this place and the fact that folks seem to be trying to keep to themselves won't draw attention to you. But at this point, what would you all like to do?
Fionn immediately, she's spread, she's on the floor. So I'm gonna roll her over, and I'm gonna grab her coat that had all of the stuff in it. This is the thing that attacked me twice. So it's just a shawl. Okay.
Yeah.
So I take it.
Well, the thing
by,
that attacked you has been crushed upstairs.
Okay, but I reached into the shawl and pulled out the thing. I'm gonna I'm basically trying to remove it from her. I'm gonna grab
shawl.
it from the bottom and pull it over her head backwards. So it's the sort of thing where I'm not reaching for any pockets. I'm just trying to get it away from her.
Yeah, you're just trying to make sure there's nothing else hidden that could be dangerous.
Right. Maybe I'll just shake it out to see if anything comes.
No, absolutely. It's no problem. It's not that difficult. Nothing really comes out. It seems like she was only really hiding that one potion and the little automaton that bit you. So there's no, it's just very simple robes and then the shawl that you've shaken, and she seems harmless at this point.
Okay, was it the sort of thing that the thing that came out of her shawl was bigger than the pocket that it was in? Was it a sort of thing?
Oh, it's the kind of thing
magical?
where it was a little spider mech that was holding on to her body, and as soon as you started searching her, it went right for your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's not really room for much else under there. It's pretty much taking up the space, and then she had that one potion hidden in her sleeve. That was the sleight of hand that you all failed to see.
Okay.
But she has no weapons on her, and no other dangerous aspects.
I would like to further just investigate the correspondence to see, just pretty much just reading the documents there. Anything that looks like it'll implicate her in relation to.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check because it's kind of a couple of documents that you have there. Bruce, while he's doing that, is there anything you want to do up in the workshop and bedroom?
Yeah, because this is all one room, right? The workshop
yeah, basically. There's the bedroom does have a door. That's probably the only part that is separating, but it's generally the workshop is all one big room.
Okay.
You said sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say investigation roll. You said right because I just didn't want to roll the wrong thing. Okay, well, you can finish, Alex.
Bruce is actually gonna keep looking at all of the artifacts and what she considered dangerous, and he's gonna keep nervously looking over at Septimus, very nervously in this situation.
I feel like in the beginning, Septimus would be diligently looking for something to prove that she has ties to Hastings. So once he does, he'll probably like lighten up a little bit, and take his gaze off, like not be so focused. And if he catches Bruce, he'll give him like a nod and be like, she was lying.
Oh, okay. All right. Still, what the fuck?
Yeah, that could have went better. But I'm trying to find out more information, maybe of how related to him she is. Maybe the last time she saw him, what she's doing with these contraptions. Which, let me know what you find there.
I found this one that it looks like a contained elemental. I don't know. It looks really dangerous. I'm not gonna really toy around with it too much. I might just throw it in the bag of holding and observe it later.
Well, grab anything else you think would be useful. Probably don't want to linger here too much longer.
All right. Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Alex. Mike, what was your investigation check?
18.
18. Okay. So the correspondences with Hastings, you would find primarily are take the form of like courier messages that basically have times and locations on them. Is the number one thing that you find there. It seems like they don't really talk much in the letters about business, because they probably don't want anyone reading them.
Yeah.
But they correspond with locations to meet.
Is there a location and time that has yet to occur?
Yes. There's one for dawn tomorrow.
And the location?
Place you don't know what it is. It's just called the Old Temple.
Fearn is taking a loose rag and filling it with ice and putting it on the bump on the lady's head, just to try and stop the swelling.
I would like to turn to the other two that are in there and say,
Wait, hold up. I just want to resolve Alex's investigation check before
Sorry.
we get into a full scene. Alex, what'd you get?
27.
27. Okay. Oh. Yeah, you find everything. Basically, on the table, you do find like the
Another bag of holding. Sorry, no. Okay.
You don't find a bag of holding here. There are a lot of potions. Like, there's a lot of potions there. I'm going to say there are 12 potions that you can grab here that you would need to do a little bit more investigating or take to an alchemist to discern what exactly they are. And there are a lot of spare parts in the other table, and tools, tinker's tools, all sorts of smithing tools, anything that she would need to be piecing together this contraption you've already found, the elemental contraption. It seems like that was the primary thing she was working on here. So you'd find like basically everything else on that table are parts that could make one of these. So you find other parts, other tubes, vials of really good glass, some broken metal and other things. And then I would say you also find a green gem there as well.
Okay. I am literally gonna, like cleaning your countertop on a kitchen table, just gonna but with the potions, I imagine and I hope that there would, well, if she's messy, I'll find like a case or something to put all 12 in and then put that in the bag of holding.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. She's been a mess, but like everything is here for there not to be a mess. She was just seemed to be a messy tinkerer, because the potions were really all over the place. And even when you look at the potions, like the glass is cloudy, the liquid has got particulate in it. These don't look like, even with your untrained eye, well-made potions. They look a little bit slapped together, versus the contraption with the what looks like elemental water in it. That is sophisticated looking.
Okay.
And then the emerald there. Okay.
Awesome.
Mike, I just want to give you one more thing for your 18. You just find some lecture notes in her bag as well. like cause you and like I never really said that she was a professor at the academy, but this shows that she teaches at the academy. And these aren't old notes, so she is a current professor at the academy.
Right.
Is what this looks like.
Can I surmise what subject?
Yes. Let me just get the right word for it. She is a professor of micro life.
Okay.
Essentially microbiology.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, with that, I will, seeing the information that I kind of wanted to say and getting a little bit more follow-up to go back downstairs and tell the rest of the group, I'll take all the papers and stuff that I found collected and put back in whatever satchel or backpack she had that it was in. And I'll take it with me and head downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. From the notes, you can kind of tell that she seems to specialize in like micro elements, like the smallest motes of elemental magic creatures, and the way that they interact with things, with plant life for the most part.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Little elemental fleas and mites is what she studies.
Like it.
Okay. Sass.
And this can happen either before Septimus comes downstairs, or it can happen as he's coming downstairs. Doesn't matter. Sass is going to go into an angry tirade at the two of the other ones that are down here. So turning to Fearn first. What the fuck were you thinking, just ambushing her like that?
I mean,
there was no reason for that. None whatsoever. You totally blew our cover. And you, turning to Jacquette, you didn't have to pile on. This was way messier than it needed to be.
Oh no, I agree. But if we had just done things my way, silently enter and surround her.
What was your way? You didn't tell us the plan. We just entered and you just started doing things. Started shooting.
I didn't shoot anything.
Well, you had your crossbow out, so you intended to shoot
intimidate.
Things.
No, to
Why?
intimidate.
Why? She was not intimidating us. Why? What? This could have gone so many different ways.
What the fuck do you think we're doing here? Do you remember what happened out on the ocean?
Yes, very much so.
So we are dealing with very dangerous individuals. Right? So, when we come upon one of these individuals, we should act with caution.
All right, you know what? I'm tired of lying to you about it. Yes, we were the ones that fucked the spire. All right?
And how did you do that?
It wasn't us. It was another member of the crew that had a device that messed with the spire. And yes, you're right. These are dangerous people. So that doesn't mean that we should rush in and start just... Oh, I'm just so angry right now.
Okay, well, we have to deal with her still. She has information.
Yes,
okay?
But can we be a little nicer? We don't even know her.
I don't plan to know her, except to know what she knows about Hastings, and then we move on. Our business is not really with her. It's with Hastings, and she is just an obstacle on the path to him. right?
We can still treat her with respect. And we don't need to be violent.
Can we?
My respect disappeared when she retaliated. I didn't hit her first.
You didn't need to hit her at all.
She breathed fire on us, and something almost bit off Fjern's hand.
Do you see
She's
this
clearly
injury?
very dangerous.
She was provoked. I'm sure you would have done the same thing if you were in her
Innocent
position.
people don't run, okay? Innocent people don't have potions that let them breathe fire in their sleeves, okay?
All I'm asking is that we're just a little calmer when she wakes up. Can we do
Fine,
that?
as long as she works with us and gives us the information we need.
That's a bit conditional, wouldn't you say?
Yes, sorry. The condition is as long as... You know what? No. Yes, it's conditional. That's my fucking conditions, okay? We're trying to get something done here, Sass. Did you
Yes.
forget?
I understand that, but we don't have to be so...
Right. How about this? We'll put her in a room with one entrance. I'll watch the door, and Saz can talk to her. Does that sound fair?
Fine. You know what? Fine. I'm going to watch and make sure no one heard us and keep a lookout, okay?
All right. Check that door
Works for
that
me.
she was running towards. Maybe there's something good in there. Some evidence, I mean. Don't steal anything. Just not yet.
Don't steal
If
anything
it's not
unless it's
nailed
good.
down, I can't promise anything.
I'd say it's at the end of that kind of argument that if you want, the two of you could join them downstairs.
Don't steal anything.
Don't tell me what to do.
Seeing her just cold on the floor, be like, oh, okay, good. You guys managed to catch her. She is in league with Hastings, holding up kind of like the files that he was reading. You were right to question her, Jaquette. She was clearly lying. It says there are certain dates and times that they've been meeting together. I can only imagine. I didn't get to read everything through here because I don't know how much time we have, but it looks like she's making some sort of things for him. But they're set to meet tomorrow morning at dawn at somewhere known as the Old Temple. So that's the best lead we have right now of finding Hastings.
That's great. Good job, Septimus.
Alright, let Sass know everything. She's going to be questioning her. I'm going to make sure that we are not discovered. And Jacques is going to walk up the stairs and try to get out onto the balcony to watch the street.
Before you go, because apparently your way is the highway, is there anything you'd like me to ask her? Anything
Just-
in particular so that you don't, don't say that I fucked it all up?
Just glares at her. Just make sure she's telling the truth. Don't fall for anything just because you pity her. Walks away.
That wasn't the question I asked, but fine.
We want to know what she was doing for Hastings. Perhaps she's the one who created that device that our Kinku friend was playing with. What was her name again? I hold on.
Twig Snap.
Twigsnap, yeah. Maybe she's the inventor.
Definitely going to ask about that.
Yeah, she had this mine or explosive on her that she was working on.
Does it look familiar, Sean?
Yeah, I would say it looks very similar.
Don't touch it.
Not exactly the same as the device that Twigsnap had attached to the spire that you all destroyed. But it is clearly of a similar kind of technology, sort of this combination of elemental magic and technology. So yeah,
Well-
it's definitely of the same make.
With that device, we have leverage on her, right? We know what she did. She might not have been, it might not be her choice to work with Captain Hastings, but it's interesting to hear her side of the story, and maybe we could turn her into the authorities for some money, or maybe she could work something out with us. This doesn't have to end with violence. What's your take on it, Saz?
Glad to see your change of heart. Doesn't have to end with violence. Well, like I said, I think these are good questions. What she was doing for Hastings and why. Ask her if she was the one that made the other device, and what this current contraption is. Does anybody want to come in with me?
I'll watch the door.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
How you doing, Bruce? You all right? I know that was a lot. Shooting a
Just-
glaring look at Fear.
I'm still holding her head up, trying to get her conscious.
Yeah, as much as Fearn is responsible for her unconsciousness, he's being very gentle right now.
Oh wait, Jared, get out of here first. And Bruce is gonna head back upstairs.
What about you, Septimus?
I'm not much of the intimidating or questioning type, so I'll leave it in your hands.
I'm not planning
I mean-
on intimidating her. Just having a chat.
Yeah,
Conversation.
but I also will admit that her lies that she told before were swaying me, so I don't know what I can believe.
That's fair.
Can I see that piece of paper, Septimus?
So this will hand it to him. He's like, but I would suggest another question you ask is, what is the old temple? Because that is our best lead of finding Hastings. And we don't have much time. What's the time currently?
Right now, so you guys waited for pretty deep into the night, so I would say you're looking at probably 1 a.m. around 1 a.m.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah, you have about
I'd imagine
5 or 6 hours with her before the supposed meeting.
Yeah, and I can only imagine it's within the city because she was still here when we got here.
With our luck, it's probably in the Widow's Ward.
Well, regardless, I figured that out. I'll
Right.
stand guard here with Fiend as well. Actually, maybe I'll pilfer through some of these other writings and see if there's some sort of hidden message that maybe I could solve.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Sean, I would like to take this moment to use my second win to gain some health back.
Sure thing.
Just
sure
in
thing.
case we have to do a long rest and I could get it reset.
No problem.
Short rest, I mean. Oh, rolled a 9. That's pretty good.
Okay. So where are
That
you
thing almost
bringing
took
her?
my arm off. Yeah, I'm gonna take her to whatever is like a bedroom.
Yeah, you can go
Like
back up to the bedroom.
there was like a side room that was a bedroom. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would probably just place her on her bed. Is there any windows in this room?
Yes, there's one window by the bed.
Okay, and how about like there's one entrance?
One entrance, yeah. So basically, there's one entrance and then there's one window. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Now thinking about it, there's two entrances because it's not really an entrance. There's a door that goes out to the balcony, the larger balcony in the front of the tenement house.
I'm gonna put her into the corner of the room that has the least amount, like the furthest distance from a window or a
Yep.
door, and I'm gonna like take some pillows from the bed and prop her up there, and then Saz will be in front of her and I'll be behind, like watching carefully.
So, can I make sure that the window is locked and then I'll lean up against the balcony doors?
So there's no. Yeah, I mean it's a simple lock. Yeah, you can. It's basically just two wooden shutters and then
Yeah.
little, like,
or is
twist
there
lock.
like a and is there like a piece of wood or something I can like make it even more closed?
Yeah. I mean, there's debris in the previous room that you can grab and shove up against it.
Yeah, just to make it a little harder to get out, and then I'll just lean against the balcony doors so that when she wakes up, she'll see me.
Yeah, I mean, it is it's a 2-story drop out the window, so she's probably not going to be trying to jump out there. But I get it.
Just in case.
Just in case. You never know. She might have another potion of
know.
flying in there,
Exactly.
hidden somewhere. But probably not. So we have the window barred. We have Fearn against the bedroom door, and Sass against the balcony door across the room from her, who's in the corner. It's a small enough room where you're not like 20 feet apart. You're really only like 10 feet apart. And basically, you're just going to wait until she wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I might take a brief, check for weapons nearby, like under desks and tables and stuff. Make sure that there's nothing, like no surprises are gonna happen again. Because fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah. You won't even need a roll for it. It very much so seems like she kept the bedroom rather plain and utilitarian, as opposed to the messy clamor of the workshop. Sort of keeping it, that's my messy space, this is my clean space.
And Septimus, are you with Fearn? Are you staying with Fearn? Or did you go somewhere else?
Outside of the room?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say I'm in the room.
Oh, you're in the room. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'll still be on the first floor, and just like I said, I'll just post up like at a desk or something.
Got it.
And it doesn't have to lead anywhere, but Septimus is just gonna dig further into the writings and stuff.
Yeah, give me an investigation check just to see if you discern any interesting facts about her that might be useful or just interesting.
Eight, just an 8.
An 8? Okay. She has a fondness for water elementals and the sea.
Nice.
Hence her crab automaton. But actually, I will say, and this is just because you're doing a deep read, not necessarily for the role, she is very melancholic and pessimistic in her notes. Like, she is very much sort of like, seems like a somewhat fatalistic person in the way she talks about life, creatures. She seems to assume the worst in her writings about people in general.
Get it.
Maybe that's why she prefers elementals and automatons. Okay. So, probably only be like half hour later that she starts to come to. Her eyes start to kind of slowly open. You would notice this, and you two, I imagine, quickly get into position.
We're playing a quick round of Jack's Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh, shit, she's waking up. Get into your cool corner.
I just sit on the cards.
So you see she just sort of slowly, like, her head is down, cause she's like, and then slowly just sort of
Are you feeling okay? Sorry about that. My friends are a little ambitious.
Keep the ice on that bump.
She kind of looks and sees the ice pack and the wrapped up ice, and she, thank you. What do you want?
Well, first of all, my name is Saskia. You can call me Sass for short if you'd like. What's your name?
I already told you and your friends.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear it again. Trying to start off on another foot.
Sindel.
That's pretty. I like that name. Never met anyone with that name before. What are you doing here, Sindel? What are all these potions and trinkets and wares that you're working on?
And she kind of looks past you to Fearn. And she doesn't look at him with fear for Fearn. in her eyes. And you actually see she sort of sits up straight, and like where before when you guys walked in, she looked very frail. Like it's almost like a moment of the facade dropping, you know, where she was kind of like when you first met her, you were first talking to her and you were watching Jacquette talk to her, she was like very like closed in and like trying to make herself small. And now since she's captured and has nothing to hide, she just sort of sits up and very tall and strong, truthfully. I mean, she's obviously not a barbarian, but she's not as frail as she made herself seem the night before, or an hour ago. But she looks at you and says, "Who sent you? Who do you work for?"
No one. We sent ourselves.
Why?
We have,
We told you already.
Don't worry about him.
Ambitious, you said?
Just a little. We're looking for Captain Hastings.
Why?
We've got... Well, you answer me first. I asked you first. Why are you working for him? Or what are all these things that you work on, I believe is the question I asked.
Give me a persuasion roll.
You got it. Persuasion.
Loud.
Oh, that was so close to being 13.
She's a little resistant. You can tell that you're not getting through to her yet.
Mhm.
You're not... I mean, a 13 is not terrible, though, so...
No, but...
She's at least, you can see that she's not tense. So you're not... You haven't made it to your destination yet, but you have taken a few steps.
Okay. Fine. Show of good faith. We're looking for him because he fucked us over. In a pretty big way.
Well, getting fucked over in Hyven is not such a out-of-the-ordinary experience.
No. But we would at least like to know why. I'll give you a little more. Even more good faith. We found a device that you were just working on. Some type of explosive.
Does not explode.
Yet? Or at all?
It doesn't explode.
What does it do? I'm curious. Genuinely curious. I don't have the touch of the tinkerer. So I admire that gift very much.
Just going to kill me anyway.
No. Wait, did she say we're just going to kill her, or he's going to kill her?
No, you. She's implying you.
Yes.
You all were just going to kill her.
No. No,
Oh,
at least I have no intention of that. And I
really?
sincerely hope my friends don't either. Looking at Fionn again.
Fiern's picking some like leftover food out of his spiky teeth, and he's just like, oh.
Really, I'm supposed to trust... And she kind of points her hands at you, Sass. You look just like one of his crew.
It's because I am. Or at least I was. Not so much anymore.
Pirate?
You could say that.
See, she reaches her hand into her pocket and just pulls out like a little like tissue and opens it up, and it has just like a little bit of bread in it, and she just starts eating it. Like she literally looks like she like pocketed some leftovers that she had and just kept them on her, and she just starts to bite into it. It's hard bread.
We had stuff like that on the ship. Not the tastiest, but you got us by.
You still haven't told me why I should trust a pirate.
I'm a trustworthy pirate.
No such thing.
Until I came along.
I stand up and I kind of just like get a little closer and crouch next to Saz, and I look her in the eye and I say, "She may fancy herself a pirate, and our other friend might fancy himself some sort of rogue aristocrat. But I'm known as a warrior of the North, and we have a code. And the second code is, if one must kill others to make your intentions clear and seek no revenge. I don't blame you for what you did to my hand. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, as we seek our real goal. I promise you, if you help us with what we need to know, you can get out of here alive, and maybe with your research intact. I try and be sincere.
Yeah. I'll say, Sass, you can roll persuasion with advantage, or you can each roll independently. So I'll say, like, with the way you're talking, and then with Fear and giving his say, you guys can.
Do you want to roll Fear, or do you want me to go to do it with advantage?
You can do it. I'm not really good at persuasion. You'll know I'm constantly trying to do it.
It was such crap. 7.
Oh no.
Oh no, really?
With advantage, yeah. I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Okay.
No,
So
3 and a 1.
I will say from this, she looks to you, Fearn, and looks to you, Sass, and says, "Just because a pirate keeps a brute around doesn't change her honor. What are you doing down here if you're from the north?"
Well, it's a long story, but let's say the people up north, I did something that they weren't okay with for my family, and I was banished. I kind of look towards Saz as I'm saying this, like not towards her.
We're friends now. So tell me more about this contraption. I'm genuinely curious. It doesn't explode. What does it do?
She looks at you skeptically.
I'm not lying.
Do you know what Captain Hastings is using it for?
You were part of his crew, were you not? Don't you know?
I nod, and I say, "Is that your intention?"
I just build things.
You should be careful who you sell them to.
The world's pretty fucked already.
Is he paying you good? For research or something?
I don't care about money.
Then why work for him? You're a professor. I assume you're a high-standing member of the university? No? Disgraced, maybe?
No.
What then? I'm just I'm so curious as to why someone like you.
One more persuasion check here. To
Come on.
to kickstart this conversation.
Trying so hard.
No, it's those dice.
Oh,
Are you proficient
my
in persuasion?
fucking god! No, but it's charisma. 10.
Okay, it's better than 7.
Together, that's a 17, Sean. Just saying.
He's a smart one. Fearn, you can give a persuasion check as well, since you kind of added to that
I
as well.
swear to God, if you roll higher than...
I'm considering this a team effort.
11, baby, let's go.
21
10 and
combined.
11.
21 combined.
What I'll say is she now, for better or worse, does not think she's in danger. She seems now very relaxed.
Great.
She then kind of looks to the two of you and says, well, I suppose since you've promised not to kill me, and you're some kind of pacifist pirates, I can show you where to find him.
That would be most helpful.
I'll have to go with you, though. There's
Are we going
traps.
to- Oh, is there? Is it someplace called the Old Temple, by any chance?
Perhaps. Maybe close. I have to go underground first.
You understand that we can't just... You'll be leading the way.
I know.
And if anything happens that we don't like,
I think
your research is as good as gone.
She understands, Fearn.
Well, she needs a reason to not betray us, right?
Fine. I'll show you the way. I'll lead you through. Give me back my research.
Do I believe her?
Give me an insight check.
Come on, Dice. Don't fuck me. I quit. I'm done. I'm done for today. No,
What'd you get?
I
done. A 1!
Stop.
Fucking natural 1. So a 2.
I
Should've
show
put on
her
makeup.
the piece of paper quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have. That I got from Septimus. Like, I don't show it to her. Like, I don't hand it to her, but like I hold it away from her and like, you know, just so she could realize what it is, and then like quickly tie it up and say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this to someone I trust, and in the morning they're gonna turn it in to the constables unless we all get home safe tonight.
I think we have an agreement.
I reach it out to shake her hand with my good hand.
She stands up now, and like, you know, you'd almost think she looked 20 years younger the way she's standing up. She's definitely old. Like she wasn't like faking being in her late 60s, but she is much healthier than she portrayed herself. And she comes over and shakes your hand. I'd like all my research.
You can have that after you hold up your end of the bargain.
I just want to make sure you don't go putting it in your little bags. And she looks at all your pockets, I guess, because you.
I didn't have anything.
I know, but she's just basically saying like, don't take all my potions. If I'm gonna help you, I want my stuff. I don't want you taking anything from me.
You watch her for a minute, Saz. I'll go tell the others. We'll keep your research safe. You'll receive it back.
Sass,
You
what's your
have my
passive
word.
perception?
13.
Fearin, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 11.
Okay.
Also, I'm lying. Because I don't know that my friends are going to give anything back.
Yeah, I know. I you don't even have to tell me that.
I plan to talk to them and make sure that we do.
Okay. So, Fearin, you step outside. Sass, do you stay in here with her, or do you go go back and...
Yeah. No, I'll stay and you cut to somebody else, but I'll stay in here and try and befriend her a little more.
I would like to cut to Jacquette.
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing? I'm watching the rolls happen.
So, Jacquette, you are leaning against the wall of the patio right next to the door that Sass was leaning on, and you heard all of that.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything particular you'd like to do?
Damn it.
He rolled a 22 on his
really-
stealth.
Really, I was just waiting to hear if there's anything that he would burst out and be like,
Okay.
if she insulted him, like actually insulted him. But hearing the conversation end and Fearin leaving, I would like to do just a general perception check out here to see what's
Sure.
going on.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, 22.
Okay, so with that 22 looking out here, I'd say you there are two things you notice. One, you can get not a great glimpse of Hyven necessarily, but you can get a pretty decent like view of the rooftops and the lights of the city. And you can see that, the typical areas still have lights up, some of the dockyards, a little bit of the Admiralty Court, but the city is, for the most part, pretty dark right now, except for the ambience of the streetlights. This district is incredibly dark because none of the streetlights are lit. There's not even, like, the actual, like, oil lanterns are lit. The only things that you would see is there's, like, dim lights in all of the buildings that are anyone still awake who is one of these loners hiding out here. And then occasionally a few lights that you can see on the spiral road that leads up the big rock that the lighthouse once stood on. It's incredibly quiet, and so quiet that you're 22, like, you feel very confident that if anyone was moving around or making noise, you would have been able to spot them within a couple blocks of this house. And the only thing you actually do spot is some of those goddamn kids. You can see a couple rooftops over. There is like just a kid staring. They don't appear to see you, because they're not really staring at you. They're just staring in the direction that you are in. Almost like you could think they might be actually watching this house in the way they're looking, but you are very, very confident that they have not seen you. And they're like, I would say they're opposite of Beacon Street, on the rooftops of some of the ruined buildings across the way.
Okay.
And it's probably just, it looks like maybe a 15-year-old kid, and you could just kind of make out their silhouette from a distance, and a small firelight coming from the rooftop, as if there's probably a couple of them there with a little fire going, drinking and watching.
Right. I will make a mental note of that area that they're at, but otherwise I'll just assume my position leaning against the door, just to listen in and wait to hear if anyone comes for me.
Okay. Let's cut back to Bruce and Septimus. If there's anything in particular you two would like to be doing while this interrogation happens. It's not super long, but if there's a conversation you want to have or somewhere you want to look around, or anything like that.
I think Bruce would have stayed upstairs a little bit longer, and tried to see if he could get any more notes on this device and anything else that Septimus might have missed, or just kind of like just a casual longer.
Yeah. Give me a
what her pillowcase looked like, and
give me an Arcana check for the device.
Okay.
And Septimus, you're really just reading her notes and getting a little bit more information about her. You're muted.
Just spending the time, like I said before, just going through the notes further. Okay. Just to kind of get a better idea of who this woman is.
Yeah. What was the roll?
25.
25. Okay. So there's only so much you can learn about it without activating it. So mainly what you discern is that there seems to be, from the parts that you can safely kind of not necessarily take apart, but analyze, you take off like the exterior shell of it to look at the actual parts that make it up, and it does look to be based on the gears and almost clock-like mechanisms within with the trigger. This looks to be a timed release device of some kind. Based on the shape of it and everything, you might inherently assume it's an explosive, but you don't know for sure what happens. All you know is that something happens with elemental water upon the triggering of it.
Okay. Got it.
Unless you have the identify spell, and then you could if you have the identify spell,
yeah,
you can do
I'll do that.
Do a straight up
identify it. Yeah.
I literally just thought, I was like, wait, what am I like? This feels like something I normally do with them. I was like, oh, it's an identify spell. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm thinking?
Yeah, I'll just identify it. A ritual cast identify. And I'll identify all the potions too. Yeah.
So with the identify, I'll at least go over the device. The device is basically it's a time release, accelerated. What is the item? 1 second. There's a particular item that it is sort of a play on. Basically, what you discover is that she's found a way to extract a water elemental's essence into this. That's actually what you can discern that green gem is that it's basically a burnt out water elemental crystal where she's extracted all of the life essence out of that crystal to create this device, which is essentially a time release accelerated ever pouring bottle. So in essence, you could put this somewhere, set it for 10 minutes, and upon 10 minutes, it would just fill the entire space with water, magical water. So you could sink a ship with this very easily. You could bring down an airship over time. It's not something like an ever pouring bottle. It takes a long time for it to fill anything. This would burst with water and very quickly fill a space up with water.
Got it. Yeah. And then any of the potions, anything quick about them?
I'll say quickly, you can identify that some of them are healing potions. Some of them are, you might guess, water breathing potions. And then some of them are basically potions of Long Strider is the spell that would would have the effect of Long Strider, but for swimming speed as opposed to for so someone could you can think that these all might be connected to how they might use that trap.
Got it. And is it 4, 4, and 4?
Yeah,
12
4,
potions.
4.
Okay, Got it. Thank you.
But they're a little janky, like I said. You could see that they seem like they could backfire in some ways.
Okay.
They used cheap ingredients, it seems.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be mostly what you would do, and then I'd say by the time you're kind of finishing up with that and just sort of categorizing everything would be when Fionn would walk out of the bedroom after the questioning, and kind of at this point I know everyone's a little separated, but you're all kind of time wise back together now. So if you guys wanted to gather back together, you can.
I kind of gather, everybody together, and well, I don't know. We revert what happened in the room with the old lady, I guess. Sindel. I mean, I don't know if I trust her, but she seems to care a lot about her research, and if we hold it hostage, we might get we might, get what we need out of her.
So you're suggesting that we take her with us for the meeting?
So, here's what happened. Believe it or not, this was my first interrogation ever. I think I did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself. She has offered to lead us to the
Old Temple.
Yes, what I believe is the Old Temple. I don't think she was lying, but there's still a good chance. In exchange for her research and giving her back all of her items, and making sure those didn't come to any harm, she is very proud of her work.
Well, why is she doing this for Hastings?
I didn't get that far. Wasn't as... I thought I did a good job, but, I have some practicing to do.
She seems to, she doesn't seem to have many cares. We tried to talk about we tried to leverage her position at the university, and she just seems to be very devoted to her work.
This is what makes me uncomfortable. I spent some time reading her notes and her journals.
What did they say?
She seemed... Oh, just some about her research, some were lessons in the class she teaches at the university. But the way she writes just makes it seem like she doesn't care about life anymore.
I was kind of getting that vibe talking to her.
What?
She did say that the device doesn't explode. She was very adamant about that.
I know what it does.
You're able to
it's
figure
like
it
an
out?
yeah. It just,
That's excellent.
Thank you.
I love her so much.
It's like an ever-pouring bottle. So think of the sea flooding in
Well, I don't need to think about that, I know.
in one area. Nope.
You're telling us it's dangerous.
It will drown an entire area and fill it up very, very quickly.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm guessing that it's used to sink ships and whatnot.
So she's crazy.
No. Hastings
Why would you
must
say
have,
that?
Hastings must have asked her to make it, just like he probably asked her to make the one that Twigsnap had.
We still don't know why she's doing these things.
I know. I couldn't get that out of her. I tried. Does anybody
There's
else want to
nothing
try?
There's nothing I read that made that clear either.
Is she getting a good profit from this?
I don't know. She wouldn't say. I asked.
Are you kidding me? Look at this place. She's not doing this for money.
She did
No.
say that she doesn't care about the money,
That's
but she didn't say
Well-
what she cares about.
Well, think of it this way, right? If we leave her here, or if we tie her up, it's just going. We're not gonna have the advantage. We're dead in the water. We can't find Hastings in time. If we take her with us, we can have her show us where to go. Maybe she'll help us with the traps, and then we can leave her behind. That way, she can't pull one over on us, and we won't give her back her research, because clearly it's dangerous. And we'll screw over Hastings in the process. Even if we don't find Hastings, it's still a win-win. We put a hamper in his operation, right?
But we don't get any information, and that's what we came here for.
Maybe we can talk to her on the way. She says we have to go underground to get there.
Give me 5 minutes. Jacques says as he takes off his hand crossbow, unsheaths his rapier, and pointedly looking at Sass, puts them on the table.
I approve. Be nice.
He just kind of gives a flippant look towards her, and does like a half pirouette. His little short cape flapping as he walks in.
I'm totally gonna be listening at the door.
As a show of good faith, can we just put all of her stuff on the table? We don't have to leave it there. Just show her that we haven't. Everything's accounted for.
I'm not gonna. It's a lot of junk. It's too much to put out. I'm not. It's a bunch of tools and scrap.
How much could it be? I mean, look how small you are. How much could you possibly carry?
Bruce just holds up a little bag, like.
I grab the bag.
No.
He pulls it back. Jaquette.
Yes.
While they're discussing what to do with the stuff, you can step inside, and she is now seated on the bed, and she's just sort of waiting, kind of just tapping her fingers over themselves, just sort of. Oh, coming to point a crossbow at my face again.
No crossbows here. I hope you understand. I only did what I did because I thought you were incredibly dangerous, and you proved my theories correct.
I do not discredit you for being suspicious and for being careful when it comes to anything that has to do with pirates. She looks past you through the door.
Yes. My friend, she... Well, as I'm sure she told you, she used to be with Hastings. He betrayed her. Hastings is responsible for my being here. If it wasn't for him, I would be over in Haven partying it up like I had planned. But instead, I'm here. So how much? Shockwith says, leaning against whatever is close. How much will it take to spill everything you've got?
Don't care about gold.
No, of course you don't. You don't care about gold. Okay. So we get you kicked out of the academy. I'm sure they would not like having a radical amongst their ranks.
No one at the academy even recognizes me.
Of course. So it's not your position, it's not the money. So then that leaves one of two things. Hastings either has someone you care about, or you care about what Hastings is doing.
Give me a persuasion roll.
$17.
You keep. He's literally the class designed for persuasion. He can't get lower than a 17.
Yeah, I got a 4, so
Oh my
I just
God.
default to my 17.
Well, you're
Wow.
because he can't, because any roll lower than
So he can't roll
9 gets automatically turned into a 9, right?
Already?
Yeah.
10.
10,
Nice.
yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the
That's
defining feature
mastermind?
of the class. No, it's the eloquence.
Eloquence.
It's what Django was in the other on Ruffians.
Mm.
So she looks at you, and I'll say, with that persuasion roll, you'll get a reaction out of her. Give me a insight check with advantage to discern a little bit from that. To discern which one it is.
22.
Excellent. So yeah, she raises an eyebrow, and maybe even like looks away from you as soon as you say, or you care about what he's doing. So she's bought into something about Hastings, what Hastings is doing.
Immediately seeing that, he goes, "A radical, of course. It makes sense why you would live in such..." Just gesturing to the squalid conditions around him. "Live here, doing your work."
I am not a radical.
No?
No.
Do you know what Hastings does with the things you make?
I have an inkling
Hmm.
of where these things
Well,
show up. I've
Let me
read the paper.
explain. Oh, okay. Let me explain to you what happens. See, Hastings takes these devices of yours, and he uses them to kill people. People die because of what you do.
People die every day.
Sure. But they die because of other reasons. These people that I knew, died because of your actions.
Give me another persuasion roll or intimidation, your choice.
Persuasion.
Because that's not there's not really intimidation. It's more like moral persuasion.
Yeah, that's still a 17.
Okay, I'm gonna actually roll something for her. This. Okay. This gets to her. For a moment, like you can see, like it's not that she didn't understand that. It's more so this is the first time someone who, it's not you saying people have died that has gotten to her. It's you saying people I knew died. Is what kind of immediately doesn't change her reaction. It just you see that causes her pause before she says, everybody knows somebody.
And I know some people that are dead because of you. That are dead because of Hastings. Do you want to hear their names? And at this, is there another chair in the room?
Yeah.
All right, cool. For dramatic effect, there was going to be one. Jacquette takes a chair and turns it around to sit in front of her. And he goes, Silgra Silvertooth. A lovely half-orc woman. Roguish, like myself. But still, you could tell there was some kindness in her heart. She wasn't trying to hurt anyone. Just take a little. Saxton Beholderman. He was terrible at gambling. Which me and Silga really liked, but it still made for a good time. Lady Navira, she wanted to come here and start her own textile industry. Can you believe it? Someone cares enough about clothing to invest their life into that. And there's that guy Roland. I don't really talk about him, but these are the people that your work have prematurely ended their lives. Not to mention the countless others that I saw screaming on that airship as it fell into the ocean. But fine, if you can sleep with yourself at night because everybody knows someone, fine, that's fine. And at this, Jacquette stands up, but he turns back to her and says, but just know, if you do anything on their way to the meeting, I suspect is offhanded. And at this, he takes out one of his daggers and just throws it between her feet. I'll kill you.
Have you ever even killed someone?
He starts walking towards the door. And he goes, oh, I've killed plenty. I didn't like it. But I did what I had to. And as he goes to reach for the doorknob, he turns back and he's like, I'm actually going to. And he walks over and pulls the dagger out from between his feet.
Yeah, good call.
Ignore that. And he just sheaths it back.
I was listening through the door, and as he was describing the names of the people that he knew that died on the airship, I would have pulled away and stopped listening. And anybody else who's out there, you can see that Sass looks really uncomfortable and like unnerved.
Fearn was just counting to himself to see how long it would take the interrogation to go.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, so Jacquette dramatically would open the door and come out with a flourish. And he just goes, time!
5 minutes, 20 seconds.
Ah, fuck. My apologies, friends. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I interrogated anyone.
Still a good effort. How'd it go?
Yeah, what did you get from her?
She's a radical. She claims she isn't, but she's doing this because she believes in what Hastings is doing.
What does
As
he do?
we learned... sorry?
And did she say what it is that she believes in?
No. I got tired of questioning her and knew I had a clock to beat. But we know that Hastings is working with the Aradunai. They, to my understanding, are elemental radicalists, correct?
What I heard. So
Yeah,
you
go.
think?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Any civilian just wanting some device like this. It had to be some sort of radical. Some sort of extremist action.
The Arduni, they wouldn't resort to tactics such as these. I mean,
And how do you know that?
it's against the code, what they're doing.
What code? Your code?
Don't, I mean, I'm pretty sure criminals don't give a shit about codes.
Actually, that's a false presumption, my friend. Criminals
Oh.
very often have a code of conduct that they live by. However, it's just not the same that you would consider to be a code of conduct. Ethics are not, they don't really play into that code of conduct. It's usually like, you don't snitch or else you get stitch. Shit. No, that's not how it goes.
They just don't seem the type to me. I'm the only one here who's spoken to members of the Arduni, and I don't think it's fair for you to judge their organization just because they're the only group that are pro-elemental.
I'm not judging them because of that at all. I'm basing these judgments by the fact that we know Hastings is working with the Arduni, and that Hastings has committed...
Who said that Hastings working with the Arduni?
Winifred.
No, she said he had associations with the Alumno Defiance.
God!
That's the second time you made this mistake.
No, that's like the fifth time I've done that. I cannot get these two... I am so sorry. I suck.
Well, this is
Damn
officially a flaw of Jaquette's now, not Stefan's.
You know, you're really good at convincing people of things, Gloveless, but when it comes down to the little details, sometimes you miss a few things.
The Alumno Defiance is the only people.
They're the monarchists.
Yep, they're the monarchists. Yeah. So, the only person who have really decent knowledge about them probably would actually be Bruce, because he's a citizen of Halcyon, and Bruce, depending on how you personally would feel about it and how personally Bruce is susceptible to propaganda, the Halcyon would be like painting the Alumno Defiance as the absolute worst people on the planet, like killers, have no concern for life whatsoever, and brutal monarchists who want to return the crown of Halcyon to rulership.
Yeah. Bruce would probably fall in line with that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever his grandma told him.
Yeah, your grandma would be like, because your grandma would have probably been alive during some of the actual, like, fighting. Septimus, your knowledge would come from the rumor mill of Hyven, where they are just known as cutthroat sellswords, who are very expensive because they're very skilled professional soldiers, who are exiled from Halcyon. And maybe your parents may have had opinions on them, since your parents fled Halcyon when they were very young. They might have even been subject to some of the violence of the rebellion. So the two of you would really be the only ones who have opinions on them, other than what you would the rest of you would have heard here and there while we were here.
Yep.
So, everything I just said that was leading up to this great conspiracy, I meant the Ulamo Defiance. Alumno Defiance. That's it. That's who. And now that I say that, she doesn't really strike me as a monarchist, so. Sorry. I really liked the elemental radicalist. I think I just have a thing against him.
No kidding. I crossed my hands.
It's nothing against you, my friend. It just seems really cool, and like that would be like, if we could fight some eco-terrorists or something, But some fucking old school monarchist, boring. Am I right? He says, like nudging Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So are you okay with the plan? I want to make sure that everybody knows what we're doing here before, we get into another tiff about our way of doing things. Are we going to let her take us all the way there to the meeting? And what are we gonna do if we find Hastings?
10 gold says Hastings is not going to be at this meeting. He'll send a proxy, and I'm sure that proxy meets another proxy. You know how these fucking... it's so annoying, the bosses of these groups. They never do anything themselves.
So we smash some heads, try and find out where the next proxy is. When does it stop?
When we get to Hastings. How many steps? That's the real question, my friend.
So going back to his question, well, if whoever we see there during the meeting, how do we approach? What do we do? What's the plan of action? Do we subdue them? Do we try to speak with them?
I think we let our new friend go in alone, because she clearly had the location of the meeting, and we listen, and she knows that we're listening, and we go in if we need to.
Another suggestion.
Of course.
Given, Jacquet, can you do that, Jacquet, can you do that, face thing again? Or, were you
Disguise self? Yes.
Yeah. Well, how good are you at mimicking voices?
If only I was 2 levels higher, I could do it so well.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what if you go to the meeting by yourself and play as Missy over here?
Well, this note that I've got here says something. It's a deal, right? That means she's got to
just location and time.
Just a location and time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we know she's a supplier for them.
She's probably expecting the device that
maybe it's a delivery.
Yeah,
She's bringing the device.
Most likely. But
Bruce,
do we want to risk that?
Yeah.
Can you
Make a decoy?
this device? Yes, or make a decoy.
She had a scrap for another device that I can probably reverse engineer this one and make another one.
How much time will it take?
Probably need like an hour. 2, maybe 2.
Maybe I can assist you with it as well. If both our minds combined, we can figure it out.
You've got 30 minutes.
That'll be awesome.
Oh, so I only get 5 and they get 30? How is that fair? I'm joking. I set my own limitations.
Okay.
I understand.
Are we staying here or?
So I think the plan is you two are going to create a decoy device. We're going to keep hold on the real device, and she's going to lead us to this location at the correct time, and we'll go from there.
I'll take a nap.
I can take her place and get more information and give them the fake device.
All right. All right, so we are staying here, and we can use her.
Yes.
Tools.
For now,
right.
yes. Shall I go in
real quick? Is the door closed to the bedroom?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Unless you wanted to leave it open.
No.
Everything.
Nobody's watching her.
Would you like me
She's
to
already gone. She jumped out the window.
I barred the window. Would you like me to go in
From
and
the
inform
inside.
her of this plan?
No, not at all.
Sean, we would have. Wait, no. If you can't hear us, then we wouldn't have heard her. What's going on? I smashed the door open.
She's just sitting in the bed. And she's like, "What?
Nothing. I just wanted to check up on you." I slowly closed the door.
I could use a drink of water.
All right. She passed the test.
Test?
All right, so let's
Nothing.
get to
Shut up.
All right.
Let's get to work.
Bruce goes upstairs, and
I'll come up.
You leave stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Tech boys will get to work.
tech boy's gonna tech.
Yeah.
As we're all dispersing and settling in, I want to just say really quick to Jacquette, those names that you were listing off, did you make them up or did you actually know those people?
Oh, please, Sass, you know me by now. It's all fake. None of it's real. He says, walking backwards as he's going to go out to the balcony to keep watch again.
Do I believe him? Shannon doesn't, obviously, but does Sess.
You could do an insight check in Kieran.
Kieran!
Jacquette, you can give me a charisma roll that you choose and tell me the number, because I'm not going to make you say deception.
You know
or
what?
Persuasion.
She doesn't believe me. He's not trying. He's just putting on airs.
I rolled an 18.
Yeah, and that's above my
Yeah.
we'll say passive.
Yeah, passive. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I like that.
Cool. Yeah.
You're passive 17. Okay, all right. So we have a plan. We've got our tech boys on the job. We've got our lookout, and we've got our PR team there to go tell her what the plan is. With that,
Tell her the plan.
or well, tell her when you guys are leaving or whatever.
I'm definitely bringing her a glass of water.
Oh, okay, that's all right. With that note, with the glass of water and the tech boy is teching, we're gonna take a break, everybody. So please stick around to see what comes of this plan, or at least the start of it. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes, folks. So please stick around, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Back, everybody, to Drift in Aldhalor. Our heroes here, or companions, adventurers, not really heroes yet.
Mocked.
No, they have not saved a town yet by destroying it.
No.
Who said we're gonna be heroes?
We never
know.
destroyed that town.
I know.
Other people.
I know. You were
We
just
just
there when it
didn't.
happened. The heroes of magic.
Same thing with the airship. I'm heroes of the ocean.
Moving on from that, you all have created a plan by co-opting the meeting between Hastings and Sindel. You are planning on creating a fake device to hand off so that Hastings doesn't get hold of the real device, with Jacquette masquerading as Sindel to do this trade-off and try to get more information out of Hastings. All the while keeping Sindel with you so she can't betray you, but also as part of your agreement with her for showing you the way to the old temple, as she calls it. Right now, Bruce and Septimus are reverse engineering the device, which Bruce has already done a little bit of work to understand it, so you just have to make sure you have the right parts and can make it at least seem like it would work. And then you all will embark. So coming back into it, let's jump into our artificer squad. So you have a jumble of parts. You have a device. You had discerned that there was roughly enough parts to probably make another one here. Describe how you. I mean, we're going to do a roll for it, but describe how you want to. Describe how you go about this, and then what skill you would like to use, because we're going to basically do kind of a skill challenge here.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain to Septimus what I've gleaned of this device thus far. And what I'll have him do is I'll give him all the parts on like a separate bench, and I'll just say, all right, get this piece. This seems to be formed like this. Try to find this piece. And if we need to make anything our own, we have some scrap metal. And then I'll, if I have questions, we'll bounce back and forth about how something works. and yeah, just go from there. And if I need to cast Identify on specific parts, I will do that as well. Yeah, I don't know. If you've got anything else, Persico?
I was going to say that I'd probably ask you for what insight you had to it, while also ritually casting Identify myself if I was confused about something, and trying to match the structure and build the actual mechanical structure of it.
Okay. So you start to do so. I would like you both to give me a roll of your choice that you think was most helpful here for you. So that could be Arcana, it could be other intelligence-based rolls. It could even be Insight, whatever you think you want to do. It could be tool set also, because I know you two have proficiencies in tools.
Yeah, when you hear proficiency in tools, it's just what do you add to it again?
So tools would be intelligence and your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So
yeah.
So it's fairly equivalent to say an Arcana check, but if you were to be doing primarily tools, then I'll flavor it that way, and it'll be if you were doing primarily Arcana, then we would flavor it that way.
I mean, I'm proficient at almost any goddamn tool under the sun.
Yeah, but for flavor, or we could say that I'm probably doing more Arcana and Septimus is doing more tool.
Yeah, I got Tinker's tools.
All right, so Septimus, give me a Tinker's tool check, which you can just you could just roll one of your int checks that is your proficient in for that, and then an Arcana from Bruce.
Come on.
Yeah.
10.
I got 13.
Ugh.
Okay.
10
and 13.
Yeah, wasted all my good rolls.
Oh, your 27s.
18, 17.
Yeah. Okay. So with this, because I'm gonna add those together to see if it equals. So you're just short of the DC to make a perfect replica, essentially. So there's going to be basically a single kind of flaw in your design that you need to either find a way to make less of a flaw or hope that they don't really think too hard about it. But basically,
I have a suggestion.
Okay. Well, let me describe what you come up with, unless there's something you want to do before it's finished.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. What's your suggestion?
No, go ahead.
No, I want to hear your suggestion.
I want to hear what you said.
I want to hear your suggestion now.
Okay. You said that there was an elemental core of green gem that was bestowed upon it. It's we don't have any way to replicate that unless we would maybe ask somebody if they have any emerald or something to maybe pass it off.
You read my mind for what I was going to say. The flaw is that you can't replicate the the glowing elemental water right now. So basically, you can see if there's something that you want to do to try to resolve that. Using an emerald of some kind or anything. But basically, what you do together is. Bruce, you are helping guide Septimus by using your arcane knowledge and identify where necessary through ritual. And Septimus, you are doing kind of the very hand to tool work as you're slowly piecing together the pieces, shaping metal that might need to be bent or twisted or shaved. And then basically you then take the chassis off of the other one and put it onto this one in order to make it look the same. The only issue is there's no elemental water in the vial on your replica.
Got it.
So if you have a means of faking that somehow, then that would make this a perfect replica. If you don't, then you'd have to figure something else out for that.
You said the water in the original is it's filled with water, but the water is luminescent.
It's luminescent of a blue, a light blue color.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my lollipops. It's a blue raspberry flavor, and I'm gonna see if we can melt it down a little bit to replicate some of the color.
I don't see why you couldn't at least dye this water with the blue raspberry lollipop.
And while he does that, I will cast light as a cantrip and put one of the little balls in the vial as well, so it has a bright light emitting from it.
How long does light last?
Light, well, it's a cantrip, but 1 hour.
Okay.
I guess I could set that up
Like a
before.
test,
Like right
Just like a
before
test.
you.
Yeah, I'll test it now and be like,
Test it now.
Does this work?
It's not perfect, but it is much better. Like it at least looks magical now. And looks like it actually would work. Now granted, Jacquet could try to, if there is any suspicion, he can kind of talk it up. But you have created basically, you've solved for the flaw in your design. It's not perfect. I'd say it's about, a discerning eye, someone who really knows artificing would be able to be like, is there a light spell in there? And then like unscrews it,
candy?
unscrews it and tastes the water. That's blue raspberry.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, so I'll say overall that takes the two of you about an hour and a half to complete.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at it's approaching 3 a.m. now.
Okay.
All right. I think that'll be good.
I
We should
think
probably sleep.
this looks as good as we're gonna get it without fully understanding it, and with the lack of material that we have.
Yeah.
No, sleep is a good idea.
Let's go meet up with the others and show them what we came up with.
So yeah, you can step out there. The rest of them have been short resting / on watch. So the group can gather back together now again to review the fake device and any other things you want to talk about before either taking another short rest or just getting ready to go.
I think we're all set. Septimus and I were able to procure this.
That looks
got all the-
incredible.
It could be better.
No, that
Yeah.
looks nearly exact.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't tell
good
the
work.
difference.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
Hopefully that our recipient doesn't have a keen eye, because there are some differences. But if
No
you guys think
worries.
it's
With my
Hopefully it's
silver
fine.
tongue, we'll get past it. No problem. And your good work.
There you go.
What do you all do with the old one that's now kind of like looks even more dangerous because it doesn't have the chassis on anymore? So it's just all these like clockwork parts and
I'm putting it back
pistons.
together and putting it in my bag.
Okay. Okay. So what would you like to do now that you have a decoy?
What time is the meeting for?
Dawn. So it's in 3.5 hours.
All right. Jacquet kind of pokes his head into the room and goes to Barracks Sindel. Barracks the third. Esquire. Sindel. How long does it take to get to this meeting?
To get through the passage and safely, an hour.
Okay.
Safely.
Of course. Safely. Which is what we all want, right?
Yes, please.
I was asking more to her to make sure we're on the same page.
Of course. I'm not trying to die in some cave with you assholes.
Just for understanding, Sean, I would have tried to keep the fake device quiet or hidden away from her knowing. She might be able to tell right away from looking at it since it's her work, but I don't want to let on that we're like not gonna let her see the people until we're there,
Okay.
Good thinking.
So yeah, so you all can kind of keep the decoy mostly hidden, Okay. But what would you like to do? Would you like to just wait until it's time to go, or do you want to go early?
I think
Uh,
Jacquette would want us to leave with 2 hours to get there.
That's
Okay.
fair.
It's a good idea.
Any
Great idea.
great
It's all right. It's all right.
So, Sindel, who are we gonna meet
Sindel.
there?
Sindel.
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 You said that Captain Hastings will be there?
I presume he will be there. He said that is where we're meeting. He likes to see what I deliver himself.
Sean, can I get an insight on whether it will be Hastings there?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. She seems to be on the up and up. Seems to be honest about it.
So does Hastings always meet you for these kind of meetings?
Not always. Sometimes it is through proxies, or if things are particularly hot, as I think you criminals say.
We're not criminals. You are.
Someone said you were inspired to be a criminal, rogue, something aristocrat. I don't know, but she is certainly a criminal. Sometimes it's just a delivery. Place it in this particular location within this particular chest and leave.
Do you know any other names? Have you dealt with any other people other than Captain Hastings?
Yes. I don't tend to ask for their names often. But, no, there have been others as well. There's a particularly tough-looking human who occasionally I'll see as a proxy. At least once or twice it was a dragonborn fellow.
What did the Dragonborn look like?
He had blue scales. Quite heavy fronds decorating his head. Like dreaded hair almost. Wider, flatter face, almost turtle-like. Sometimes I could say. Blue. Didn't talk much, was always very uncomfortable. But so am I. So I actually preferred to when he was him. Didn't have to chit-chat. Don't like talking to people much.
You don't
Oh, I
say.
could tell.
And the human, was he a talker?
He was, her eyes peer over to Jacquette. A radical. I didn't like meeting with him. He didn't appreciate my work. Any other questions about these folk? Hastings.
What did the human look like?
I had the white hair. Often held up in a top knot. Hair held back taut. Blue cloak. Gold trim. Looked like it used to be very nice. With feathers decorating it. Looked like a scoundrel.
So Hastings, you have no idea what he's planning to do, correct?
No. I don't know what he's doing with these things. Specifically.
But you can surmise, maybe, based on the criteria he asks for.
Yes.
So what might he be doing with this latest contraption of yours?
Life was so much simpler with the moats. What do you think he's doing with it?
No. I am asking, well, we are asking you the questions here. I don't know what he's fucking doing with it. I know what he has done with these. But this one, no, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't really care. It's more curiosity. Because if he is there, then I have what I need.
And what is it you need?
Hastings.
Revenge?
Yes.
And what will you do when you find him?
I don't know. String him up by his fingers, maybe? Take him for everything he's got?
Fionn looks notably distraught when he's talking about this.
You're going to torture the man? Kill
No.
him?
Yes.
Interesting.
Or at least get reparations for all the pain he put me and my friends through.
So this is just a quest to kill a man.
And get a lot of gold.
No, it's also a quest to find out why.
Yes, answers.
Answers. Why what?
Why he abandoned us.
Why he shot down the fucking ship I was on.
Two different whys.
Come from different worlds, clearly. So.
Abandoned you. Do you feel a sense of abandonment? Do you want to return to his crew?
Not particularly.
Did you know
I
the
feel
devious
a lot
man?
better.
Or the
I feel a lot
Dragonborn?
better. I feel a lot better answering your questions if you'd answer some of ours. Truthfully.
I told you about two other people in his employ.
But you haven't answered the first question I asked you.
And what is
Why
that?
are you working for Hastings? What's in it for you?
What do you care?
I
You're just
care.
trying to kill the man.
I'm not.
No, I'm trying to kill him.
Fionn's gonna punch something nearby and walk up to her and say, I'll tell you why. I want to know why Hastings would stoop to such a low level to get what he wants. To work with someone as diabolical and terrible as you. That's what I want to know.
He's a pirate. I wouldn't
She's
call
got a
myself diabolical.
Are you gonna
course
answer the
you
question
wouldn't.
or not?
Your friend here answered my question, but you haven't answered it. Why do you care? You seem to be the nice one here, although I have not spoken to these two much.
They're very nice. I'm not
So
answering
we're-
until you answer.
Yeah, Bruce just looks very uncomfortable.
What did you say, Sass?
Said I'm not answering until you answer.
Ah, stalemate.
Yeah.
Let's get this done so I never have to see this woman again.
All right. Shall I lead the way?
One moment. And Jacquet's gonna go out to the balcony, excuse me, and survey the area, specifically looking towards where those rat kids were, to make sure the quote-unquote coast is clear.
The rat kids.
Give me a perception
Rat
check.
kids.
Rat kids on the rooftops.
15.
Seems clear. There's no campfire light from that building anymore. So it'd be too dark really for anyone to really see any of you at this point.
Okay, then re-entering, Jacquet will kind of like motion to get going.
Feared's gonna hold up the front, letting Sindel go ahead of him.
Okay.
And basically just like, like not pushing her along, but like staying pretty close. That if she were to like, dip down, like within arm's length.
Okay. So, can I get a marching order?
I'll be
So we got Fearn there.
I'll be behind Fearn.
Bruce is definitely in the back.
Yeah, I'm with Bruce.
I think while we're traveling, Jacquet will kind of like be keeping to the flanks, and trying to, like check where we're going, occasionally scouting ahead,
Versatile.
generally being vigilant.
Okay, so she leads you downstairs. You see she you can see that she unlocks the magical locks on the doors in the front. You can see there's a particular gesture she makes to shape a passcode, if you will, on each of them that opens the doors. She doesn't open the door that leads outside. She actually goes into the downstairs apartment, the one that the hole in the floor leads to, and leads you all to the corner of the room where you knocked her out originally, and opens up a hidden door on the floor. After moving some debris aside, there's a latched door that she opens up with a ladder. She says, "Down here. No reason to go out into the streets. Can I?" She gestures to go ahead.
Jacquet holds her up and goes, "Anything at the bottom?"
Not yet.
And he's gonna go first.
Okay. It's a very tight squeeze. It's the size of this, like Fearn's gonna be real tight in there when he's going down this little tunnel tube. It goes down for probably 10 feet. It's not super deep. It's just tight. And it drops down into a very narrow pathway with supports kind of built into the sides. This is not like a basement or anything like that. This is the equivalent you could think of as this is like a mine shaft that you're crawling through. So very low ceilings, very tight, with wooden support walls on the sides. Pitch dark.
Like a smuggler's tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. So once Jacquet's down there, you all can follow. Well, she'll probably go first to join him down there.
Right.
See? Just the dark.
Not for me.
He just looks back at her.
Is there any light?
His eyes.
Zero light.
Does she look blind? Like, does she have a lantern or something? Like,
She does not
say
have a
anything?
lantern,
And she's a human, right? So
as far as you can see.
Bruce is gonna tug on Septimus's cloak. Can you see?
I can't see a damn thing. But you can. Mind if I just hold onto your shoulder?
Sure.
Fearn, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay close because I can see.
I can see too. You,
Turns-
can you see? I look at Sindel.
Yes, I can.
So can we light up this area? Is that gonna unveil us?
There wouldn't be anyone, I think, for a good half of this journey who would be looking. Unless for some reason Hastings arrived early.
How were you able to see?
I have my ways. Maybe if we
Jacquet's gonna take out a hooded lantern and light it up.
Yeah, I was about to say I was gonna take out a torch. It's like way too big for Bruce, but it's like anyone got a light?
No, trust me, this is much better. It's literally made for adventuring.
Oh, yeah, that's not consumable like I have over here. That's much better.
Well, the oil that lights it is consumable. It does burn for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fearn takes the lantern that is in his hand and tries to light it by like pulling out his sword and using green flame blade to light it, but it's so narrow in there that he like can't get the sword from behind him. So he's like kind of just like struggling with it behind him, like it's stuck on his back.
Jacquet takes it and just lights it with a fucking match like a normal person. No, not everything is magic and, adventurous. Sometimes the simple way is easiest.
I hate narrow caves like this. No room to stretch your legs.
So you can see now, and it's for anyone who's never really done any kind of like, I'm thinking of Septimus and Bruce, and probably even Sass and maybe well, no, you'd have experience in smuggler dens. It's very tight and claustrophobic and uncomfortable and very creepy, truthfully. Like it's deadly quiet in there. There's just sort of this like low thrumming sound that's going through as the sound wherever there is sound in here is bouncing around so much that it's not really discernible. And there's just this like flashlight like lantern pointing out in a singular direction. But it is lit. The path is lit. And you can start.
The way is lit.
Mm-hmm. And Sindel will start walking through the caves.
I'm gonna put my goggles down, even so we have.
Sure. Okay. So I'm assuming similar marching order, except with Sass up with Fearn to C.
I think Jacquet would be in the middle with the lantern.
Okay. Okay. So, as you're moving through here, it feels like the deeper in you get to this mine shaft / smugglers tunnel, the hotter it becomes, and the more stale the air becomes, and the more uncomfortable it becomes as the ceilings. I mean, everyone except Bruce is bending over in the ceilings. These are like just barely over 5 feet high at this point in the tunnel, and there's certain points where you look and you just hear like cracks here and there, and look over and might see like one of these support wooden walls semi-collapsed, making it feel more and more uncomfortable as you're going through.
Bruce is definitely uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, and then anytime any of these things crack, there's just sort of this echo going through, and you can tell that that the way it's echoing out, that eventually this cave is going to open up a little bit ahead of the path, but you're going for a while.
How straight is the path? Sean?
It's not straight. It is weaving and turning and whatnot. It's not like when I say that, I don't mean it's like a super broad sweeps. It's more so like you're always kind of doing a somewhat of a twist and turn to the point when it's hard to tell if you've been going straight. Even though the path might be somewhat straightened, you are kind of doing enough squeezing and turning that it feels like it's hard to tell. Like if you were trying to like map up the city above, it would be
Right.
a little difficult to match it. What I'll say you do know is that you are heading, when you first get into the tunnel, the direction it was heading in was west.
Great. Wait, that's good, right? That's away from the place we don't want to be.
No, it's
No,
towards.
it's putting us right
Damn it.
underneath it. Hey, Sean, how's that map coming?
You guys have the streets. It's. I'll get it to you when you get me the map of Freeport,
Ooh,
or not Freeport.
called out. Secundus. Yep,
Secundus,
fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so
I guess when you think about it, Beacon Street's kind of just like an outcropping. There's only one real way to go, unless you're
Yeah.
going under the water.
yeah, Beacon Street's not. It's only really one direction, so you have to kind of go west or south, or
Right.
if you go east, you're just going right to the shoreline. Okay, so you reach a point where you guys are have to squeeze through a tighter space where you're going to have to go sideways to get through this area. And there's kind of water trickling down the sides of this tunnel. It's a little bit taller now as you kind of enter a point when you can see like basically the rooftop cracks open and you can't really see the top of where it goes, but you can feel the water dripping down from it in this cave. And you were going to have to squeeze like around a corner, so you can't 100% see where you're going. So how do you want Sindel to go first, or do one of you want to go first? How do you want to approach this part?
I normally don't suggest these things, but I can go first here, as I might have the easiest time to go around the corner.
Anything we need
brave
to
of
know
you.
about Sindel ahead?
When you get to the other side, you're going to want to be very careful with your steps. There is to your right, from when you enter, there is a bit of a fall, a chasm. So stay hugging to the left when you exit the crevice. That's it. No traps on the other side yet. But we are getting to the traps soon.
Bruce is gonna put his goggles on and make his
You got this, Bruce the Brave.
Be careful.
saying it doesn't make it true. But thank you.
He says very quietly.
We actually didn't even hear it.
Oh,
Very
he said
sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay, so Bruce, you start to move your way through. Do you want to kind of be using your goggles to see ahead with perception?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Five.
Okay. All right. So as you're moving through, you have probably of everyone the easiest time. Although you do have a lot of, you have a big bag and stuff, so it's still a little tight for you. You could feel all the water kind of dripping down. Like your perception is like a little thrown off by the kind of running water on the walls, where it's throwing off your lines of blind sight. But you can get you can see enough to be able to make sure that you're not like falling into a crevasse on the other side. But when you get to the other side, on the very edge of your dark vision or your blind sight, you see movement. You can't discern what it is, but something pulls away from you, above you.
Oh, like okay.
Like whatever is the worst. What is the worst thing Bruce could imagine is above him in a creepy dark cave?
And this is before I turn the corner, or this is after I turn the corner?
This is before you turn the corner. You're about to turn the corner.
Bruce is about to, nope. And Bruce is gonna turn around.
Oh,
You hear so Bruce basically made it halfway through. Do you audibly go, nope?
Yep. Yep.
Sean, the scariest thing you could possibly see there was a corner.
What did you see?
There's something up there. I don't know what it is. I don't want to deal with it. It's probably just a bat or a rat or something. But I don't want to take that chance. So somebody else go first. But besides that, it's clear of traps and all that.
At the mention of that, Jacques is going to lean his hand into Sindel's shoulder and kind of like push her against the wall and be like, anything we need to know?
Well, you're adventurers. I thought you assumed there were monsters in the world. But I've never encountered anything of danger here, but I've also only ever traveled alone and haven't traveled with yelping kobolds.
Anything else we need to know?
It could be a bat. It could be a giant bat.
Jacques looks over to Fearn and goes, do you mind going first?
I go.
Okay. So as you move through Fearn, do you want to do like a perception check while you're going through to see if you can hear or see what Bruce saw or caught the glimpse of?
I guess, but I'd also probably reach out before I go to maybe Saz, and I'd say, do you have a knife or something? The sword's a little too big.
Yeah, sure. And I hand him a dagger. I want it back.
Yep, I just take it and I nod at her and head forward, knife forward. Yeah, I'll roll that perception check.
Go for it. So Bruce returns fully, and you can see Fearn now slowly slipping through, and it's that kind of thing. Like you guys can point the lantern in there so that to help him with it, but like as soon as he makes like gets to a certain point, he's gone. What was your perception check?
A 6.
Okay. You
Dice tonight, guys.
Man, rough all around.
You don't see anything, I'll say, or hear anything as you're moving through. You're just going through. You cross that corner, and actually, yeah. Okay, and you get to the other side. And you see there's a chasm there that has a steep fall you can't see the bottom of, and you grab onto the rock and can go to the left, just like she said. She was honest about that. But as far as you can see, it's clear. It could have been a bat. It could have been Bruce's own imagination. It's but you didn't see anything, or nothing attacked you.
I don't really know. Like, maybe I'll backtrack, and I'm just gonna go to the point where I know they can't see me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna like stick my hand out and like give him a thumbs up.
Yeah,
and
he
then,
disappears, and then suddenly you see it. It's very quiet, and then boop, thumbs up comes out.
And then I, head back to where the crevice was and wait for the whole party to catch up to me. But is there like a sort of like space that's a little bit wider that I could stand in?
Yes.
Okay,
so
good.
you actually, I'll tell you what you see now. You can see that there's that crevice, which seems like the rock shifted and there is a collapse, and then you see to your left is actually an actual old mine shaft. Like you actually see a lift there, a cranked lift. It's definitely rickety, but it is the next layer of movement through here. But it has a general like wider space that you can actually stand up tall in, probably 10, 15 feet across. Ceiling's actually a little bit higher here, up to like 8 feet tall, so you can actually stand and look around.
What is there any evidence to it being a mine shaft? Like any tools or anything nearby?
Yeah. There's old detritus there where you can see some broken down mine carts. You can see some old tools. You can see piles of rocks. Like this was definitely part of an actual mine shaft at one point.
How old? Like, I'm just trying to get an idea of like how old this mine is. Like, is it like ancient? Or
No. I would say it's definitely not ancient. Like there's some of some of this is wood and it's still there, so it's not ancient.
It's not like molding.
It's definitely like I would say like it's definitely not like a mine that's been in operation recently. It could be 50 years old. It could be 20. It could be 30.
Is it moist? Are the things rusted?
There is some rust there is some water in this cave, as you can from the dripping that you experienced in the crack. There is some rust and moisture to this, so it does have that kind of damage to it a little bit.
For fun, I kick a rock off the cliff.
Drums in the deep.
What's everyone's passive perception?
14.
13.
12.
So I mean, yeah, you all hear that. You all definitely hear the rock fall, and it does that like bouncing, like it's like falling a little free fall, and then it starts to bounce back and forth rapidly against the rock of the crevice it fell down for a while. Like it's definitely deep. This is something that would be like hundreds of feet of a drop. You probably get stuck halfway down, and that's where you would die.
Got it.
Who's next?
I gesture for Sindel to follow, and then I'll go after her.
She nods, starts moving through. Do you follow her right away to keep her in eye shot, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay. You would notice that she's looking up the entire time.
What are you so nervous about?
I wasn't joking about the bats.
We'll keep an eye out.
Okay. Do you look up?
Yeah.
Well, you have devil's sight, so I'll tell you exactly what you see.
What do I see?
You see a giant bat. You see a giant bat clinging to the wall, staring down, flattened almost, like where it's like, because it's in a tight space, and it's got very, very fluid-like body in that sense. Yeah. Wings out, claws in the ends of the tips of the corner of the wings, grasping onto the rock. A face that is fiendish in nature. You have that really fiendish nose, and you can see these massive fangs on it, and you can even see like a little bit of just whatever light is bouncing off of the hooded lantern is just like in the eyes. They look like they're glowing in that creepy way, and it's just staring down, still as night. And I say giant, I mean it's very, very large.
Right. Don't make any sudden movements, I say back to the other three.
What?
There's a fucking bat.
Oh, shit.
Where?
Where do you think? Up.
You clearly, obviously don't see anything. But Sass, as you call back to them from behind, you see the bat's head just looks back to where you shout to.
Very still.
Pulls itself towards where the other three are, quietly.
Can Fearn hear this?
No, this thing's
Like, what's she
stealth
saying?
is through the roof. She's only seeing... hearing it. I mean, if you're close to the crevice, yes. If you're back towards the mine shaft, then no. But if you're waiting for them near the crevice, you can hear them whispering.
Yeah, I would just pull out my sword because it's a little bit wider here, and get ready. Like, just be at the ready for when people come by.
Jacquet closes the hood on the lantern, so it only sheds dim light within 5 feet. Hooks it onto his pack and takes out his hand crossbow and dagger.
Yeah, and for Sass, you watch all the light fades from this crevice, and your devil sight takes over, where it's you can see all of this in this black and white with tinges of aquamarine to it. Very almost not intentionally, but very much like night vision.
Yeah.
So it's actually creepier looking now as it is just slowly pulling itself over there.
It's coming towards you. Be very careful.
Septimus can't see a thing.
Yeah.
In there. Yeah.
Septimus is.
Can I reach my hand through so I can hold it to guide him through?
Hold your hand out for him to grab it when he gets close enough. Yeah, absolutely. So if Septimus goes through now.
Yeah.
Oh, she just told me it's moving towards me.
Yeah.
Septimus is going to cast light as bright as he can so he can see where the hell this thing is.
Yes. So Septimus, do you cast light and what do you cast it on? Because don't you have to cast light on an object? Or can you just create an orb of light?
I think it's on an
Oh,
object.
it is light. I was thinking, yeah, it is an object.
I can do it on my hand.
Maybe you can also just do it on
I have
a hammer.
Yeah, I have it on my hand. I'll cast it on my hammer and shine it up. Maybe should be a
Yeah, so you immediately see this bat that probably has a 20-foot wingspan if it's out in the actual night, and it has this mane of raggedy fur. Its body is actually quite small. It's mostly mouth and wings when you're really looking at how big it is, and then it has a fairly small body. It probably would only need to eat one of you to be good for a while, and you can see this gnarly face, this gargoyle-esque face with these fangs that are very long and black, and these eyes that are clouded over. And you immediately, when you shine this light, hear a screech, a high-pitched screech from it that is almost like chittering, and is deafening almost for a moment. I need all of you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, these are some great rolls.
Look rough.
Damn.
12.
Rolling terrible. I guess I am freaking out.
Are we rolling initiative too, Sean?
Yes, you are.
Nah.
All right. What did everyone get on their con saves?
19.
19. Okay, you pass.
12 for me.
12, you fail.
15.
Pass.
I failed with
7.
a 9.
What did you get, Septimus?
7, fail.
Okay. All right. So anyone who failed is dazed until the start of the bat's next turn. After a full round of combat, basically what that means is you just have disadvantage on attacks and skill checks. in saving throws. It's basically like a point of exhaustion plus with a little bit more, just for 1 round though. All right. Initiative rolls. 20 to 25.
Oh, I don't even remember what I got.
You can look.
You got a 12. So did I. We both got 12,
12.
Septimus.
15 to 19.
19.
18.
Okay, Fearn with a 19. Jacquette with an 18. 10 to 15.
12.
12.
Okay, which one of you wants to go first?
I'd like to if
Yeah, go for
it's in my near vicinity.
Go for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We'll go with Septimus first, and then Sass. Bruce, what'd you get?
5.
5. Okay. Roll for Sindel.
Did she roll Constitution?
Oh, good call. She succeeded. Okay, so Sindel is up first, and Sindel is with Bruce on the other side. She doesn't really do anything on her turn. She doesn't like pull out any weapons. She doesn't have any weapons. She actually just kind of backs up a little bit, Bruce, from behind you, so that she's not up in front, and kind of just fearfully is backing away from the pit, not running away. But she doesn't really do anything on her turn. She just backs away until she hits the wall, basically, behind her. Fearn, you are up first. So, for context, this crevice is is about 25 feet long, and it's curved. So you are on the opposite side. It is difficult terrain, so you do have half movement speed while moving through it. And it's very difficult to fight inside it. I'd say all melee attacks and range attacks, like any weapon attacks, have disadvantage within the crevice.
With that light, do I have line of sight of the creature?
No, because of the curve. You'd have to get into the tunnel to get line of sight of it. Because they're on the opposite side of you right now, so they're beyond the curve of the tunnel.
If I were to go inside of the tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
would I have enough movement to get line of sight?
What's your movement speed?
30.
So you can get 15 feet in? Yes, I would say yes, you would be able to.
Okay, I'm going to... Well, I think that going inside is going to cause problems because I'm trying to get it, coaxing it out, or at least letting my friends get through. If I'm just in the way, that'll be a problem. So instead, I'm going to I'm gonna cast... No, I'm not gonna cast anything. I'm gonna pull out my horn and I'm gonna blow it as loud as I possibly can to try and get its attention away from my friends. And maybe blow its eardrums out.
Okay. So I would say give me an intimidation check for that.
Okay. Not a constitution check because I'm blowing really hard.
On its part?
On my part. Blowing
Oh yeah,
air.
I'll accept a Constitution check.
Nice. How do I roll this? I guess it's just plus 4.
It's not worth it to make a battle map.
I got an 18.
Okay, an 18. Okay. All right. So I would say those of you who are looking at it right now, because all of you on the other side can see it now, you would see its head does turn, and it does get disoriented by this. You can see like the little claws in the corner of the wing are like grabbing at its head, and it does seem to be disoriented. You might even be able to surmise it itself has been dazed by this. So it is under the dazed effect as well here.
And I'll ready attack since that's technically an object interaction.
Okay, I'll allow that. So you're holding an attack action.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
For if it just gets in my range.
Perfect. Okay. Jacquette, you are up with Septimus and Sass on deck.
All right. So as dazed, I have disadvantage on
attacks, skill checks, and saving throws.
Okay.
Just
cool.
for this turn.
Yes. All right. Jacquette is going to look up at this bat creature and go, I have it somewhere. He's going to use his Bardic Inspiration bonus action to unsettling words. Basically be like, damn beast, you look uglier than a mug pug and a shrub gub. Which you would know what that means if you're from Domuzerum, he says, looking around to everyone. And then, very, very common. And then,
Grub jobs are just ugly pandas. We've established that you know what pandas are.
I don't know what pandas or raccoons are. I want to make it vague.
Unselling words, that gives a what is it?
It's a minus D6 to the next
That's what I thought.
Saving throw.
Okay.
And then, guess what I'm going to follow that up with?
Dissonant Whispers.
Nice.
2 this time, so it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw? Cool.
And then it needs to minus, hell yeah, 6 off of that.
Yeah, it got a -2.
All right.
So go ahead and give us that damage, and it'll work.
So
It'll
it's going to
run
take
away.
11 psychic damage as Jacquette just goes to the shadows from which you spawned. And it just hears like in its little bat ears, just shadow, spawn. As it just like racks it with psychic pain.
Yeah, and and remind me it has to use its reaction, right, to use its movement speed.
Yes, to move as far away as possible from me.
With the reaction, yeah. Okay. Is it? Yeah, because that would be its movement speed. Yeah.
Can I use my reaction as because I'm a warcaster? I don't know if I'm doing this right because.
So I think I know what you're doing,
this.
and it's you're because you can use spells as opportunity attacks. It's when they're leaving your range. So it's like a normal opportunity attack. It's a normal opportunity attack. You just get to use a spell. So it's not it wasn't in range with you yet.
Okay. I thought you just get to be like, I used my reaction. And
no, that would be cool. But no, it has to be triggered by like an opportunity attack would normally be triggered.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's why it's actually very nice for warcasting warlocks to have pole arms as their weapon, because you have that 10 feet. Okay. You said 11 damage, and then it has to move as far as its speed allows away. Okay, so you see it starts to back itself away. You can see like just that same disorientation on its head. It just, it's clawing at its own ears, trying to orient itself as it's slowly moving, pushing itself up behind, backing away. It actually had disadvantage on that roll as well because it was dazed. But it did roll a 3. So it moves. So it can't fly in this space. So it moves 10 feet away as it pushes itself back. Because giant bats actually have very low movement speed unless they're out in the open and can fly. And this thing is definitely was relying on its stealth. So anything else, Jacquette?
I think Jacquette will subtly move to make sure that he's in front of Bruce and Septimus.
So Septimus is in like in the first few feet of the crevice.
Okay,
so just
not
Bruce. You wouldn't even be able to get around him anyway. Septimus, you are up. You're like a couple feet into this. The bat is now 10 feet above you. Or, 20 feet above you, because it was 10 feet away, and then it moved another 10 feet up into the crevice above. How far is the light for light? It's like 30 feet or something?
Light is 20-foot radius.
Okay, so it is just outside of that.
Sorry, 20 feet bright light, additional 20 feet of dim light.
Okay, so you see it backing up into the dim light now. It's in the dim light now. You basically are just seeing like its rough shape and then those terrifying reflections of your light spell in its eyes. What would you like to do?
It's moving upward, like
yeah, because it's 20 feet above you.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, if we're looking at a big crevice that goes up thin like this, it can't fly away, so it's just slowly backing away from Jacquette's spell, Dissonant Whispers, is causing it to run away, at least for that moment.
And there's no, like, ledges or clearings or anything. It's just a crevice going straight up.
Yeah, it's like in a video game when they have to load the next part, and you're moving through sideways.
All right, so then with that, because I'm assuming it'll work hopefully the way I want, Septimus takes his hammer, and while, like, speaking some incantations, he'll just throw his arm up like this and cast catapult using his hammer and just launch the hammer right towards this thing.
That's pretty fucking cool, actually. Absolutely. That's a saving throw, right?
Dex saving throw. Which,
cool, and it has disadvantage because it is still dazed from the horn blow. Okay, good thing I had disadvantage. It's a 6.
Gets hit. Yeah, this thing's gonna take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Yeah, it rolled an 18 and a 3, so good thing for that disadvantage. Thank Fear for that.
It does 10 bludgeoning damage.
10 bludgeoning damage. Excellent. Okay. You hear a screech come from it as it's struck by this hammer that then comes back down, and you can easily catch it. And it like you like bashed it in the face too, so like you can see one of the eyes is bloodied and mangled as it's just. And it keeps backing up. It is running away. So, Sass, if you want to take a pot shot at it, you can, but it seems to be retreating.
Well, I want to make sure it keeps retreating, so I would like to use my bonus action to summon a tentacle and put it right next to it and be go. Get.
Tentacle is just there to be imposing and put something between you all and it.
Yeah.
Okay. The tentacle is very the cool thing about the tentacle right now is it's ethereal. So the tentacle is sort of like moving in and out of the rock as it's floating there. And it makes it kind of even more frightening as it looks like it's burrowing into the rock.
Creepy. I like it.
But the creature is backing away until it disappears into the dark past your light spell. You have proven yourselves too much of a hassle to try to eat you.
Level up?
Yes. Level up for killing this truthfully
not even killing anything.
Only slightly buffed CR 1/4 enemy.
Yeah.
Giant bats are not that strong, really. I buffed it a little bit, but with that shriek ability so the creature backs away. You know to be a little bit more wary moving through, and Sindel is also probably going to be a little freaked out because she wasn't joking when she said I don't have any problems when I go in here, but she's never moved with a full group. That thing was 100% just planning on grabbing Bruce if it could. It didn't care about any of the rest of you. Like if Bruce did not come back, it would have gone for Bruce before you guys got to the other side.
Oh no!
And like if you guys moved through one at a time slowly, and Bruce was ever alone, it was just going to drop down, grab Bruce, and pull up to try to escape with him.
Oh
'Cause
my god.
it's a stalker. It's just trying to grab the smallest one and run away and eat it.
It's a good thing you came back.
Fearn was already. Oh no, Fearn wasn't already on the other side. Never
No.
mind.
No, he went first.
Okay. So you get to the other side, and Sindel is there. She did not rush to the mine shaft to try to get ahead of you all. She is just waiting for you. And she does have this. Her eyes are much wider, and her face is pale. And she looks very scared now, as opposed to the kind of quippy pessimist she was before.
Ugh, gross beast.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
For now.
All right. All right.
Let's keep moving in case it comes back, but I think we're in the clear.
All right.
Yes. This way. And she goes over, and you see she pushes the doors open of this shaft. It basically has two closing doors like this that are typically that are a little rusted, so they need to be kind of pulled open. And there is a shaft there. There's no lift. The lift is rotted. The wood is rotted through it, so there's just the chains of the lift. And she looks and she says, "We have to go down there."
Oh, how do you plan on doing that?
I have my ways.
Care to share? How do you normally do it?
Steps back and snaps her fingers and slowly floats down.
Fion's gonna grab the chain and kind of just like belay himself. Unless it's like really is it how steep is it?
Sorry. It's you mean like how far down is it?
Is it just a drop? Like
It's just a drop. It's basically like if you were looking at a mine shaft and there was a lift in there and the entire floor of the lift has rotted or broken away, and it just is what is the normal shaft beneath it. It's like if you just cut a hole out of the bottom of a lift.
I was thinking one of those like sideways like things that you see in like the end of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. No. This is like literally like an elevator where a crank elevator that is broken and doesn't work because it's been rotted through, and there's just the chains of it there that you can climb down.
Well, I think you all know I've got the answer to this problem.
Do your thing.
I once again cast Featherfall. Oh, sorry. Did you say something?
Just so we have a way of getting back. Let me just. Bruce is gonna walk over to where the chains are and just make sure that it's structural and it will hold. And it possibly even supply another like rope that is tied as like a second option if we need to climb back up.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check of the chain to see its quality. Test the quality of this craftsmanship.
Perhaps a chance for the chain to show its quality.
28.
Yeah, this chain is of every part of this mine shaft that is rotting and rusted over. The chain is probably the thing that's in the most optimal condition. The lift rotting away has made it so that there's very little pressure being put on this chain and weight pulling on it, so it doesn't experience a lot of wear and tear other than the rust here and there.
Okay, and like where it's tied to can support all of our weight? Or we should do like one
you
at a
probably
time?
shouldn't, based on what you're investigating, you probably should not all be on the chain at the same time.
Okay.
Fearn should probably go alone if he goes. The rest of you could probably pair up.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Got that?
Whatever you say, boss.
All right, good.
And you, Featherfall?
Yes.
How far down is it?
Do you want to shine the light down?
No, as we're falling. Like.
Oh, as you're falling, yeah. It's fairly deep.
Okay. So as we're falling, I think Jacques is just like kind of leaning against nothing, and he's like,
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Aren't we on the coast? Shouldn't we have hit the water table by now? That's usually how these things work. How do they have a mind? That doesn't matter.
The rock that Beacon Street is on is hundreds of feet up, above sea level.
hundreds?
Where you are now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean not like 500 feet, but
Okay, but like, all right.
enough for there to be some kind of shaft going down. And this is not hundreds of feet deep.
Right. No, I understand that.
Well, then my joke is a little. Never mind.
As you land into the water. No, you don't land in the water, but it is as you do get down, you do notice that you have reached where it is the water level, and you basically land on old metal iron grates, and below you is water, and there's an opening now that leads out into a much wider chasm. It's not just like you've not entered a mine. You've entered in where a natural cave has formed off of a mine tunnel, where like collapsing rock has created an opening here that water has eroded away through to create a much larger space. And what you see ahead of you is a bridge over some moving water.
Is it seawater or just regular water?
It's a mingling of the two. This is where some groundwater probably meets seawater. And you look out, and there's a bridge, and Sindel is standing next to the bridge, and she looks to you all and says, "I present to you the first trap." And since it is 9:35, I think that is where we're going to end tonight. And we'll pick up in the last legs of the passage through the traps until you make it to the meeting spot in the old temple.
I'm not gonna like set the cliffhanger that she hits the trigger and then like a giant boulder comes out and we don't know what happens next.
And then the
Like,
boulder's
really
rolling
good
and you're
clip.
running from the boulder.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not going to betray you.
No.
I'll believe it.
You're gonna betray her though.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
She might, but Sean will.
Launch my hammer in her face.
Did you ever get that back?
Thor. That's awesome.
It fell.
Yeah.
He said it fell back down, and I grabbed it.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's why I asked if there was like any ledges or something, because knowing my luck, it'd bounce off his face and like it like knock over.
Chasm.
But yes, the next thing to do is to cross this bridge.
No, first thing to do is disarm the trap, then cross the bridge.
That's true.
Yeah. Told
That's
that.
true. That's true.
Cross that
Or
bridge
maybe
when
just
we
swim through the water.
You do that. If you're
No,
strong
it's
enough.
salt water. I'll rust up my hand.
And Bruce might get swept away.
Don't. I got you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We are going to send a raid on over to, let's see, who is on right now?
Travis McElroy is on.
He doesn't
We
need
could
our
raid
viewers.
Travis.
Yeah, send it back.
Send it back.
He doesn't need our viewers.
Oof.
What I mean is I prefer to raid lower number stuff
Fair
I
enough.
got
than
you,
someone
I
who's
got
already
you.
got
Nah,
118
nothing.
folks. I don't know, maybe we'll raid them. No, we're gonna raid Mini Terrain Domain, who are playing D&D.
Wonderful.
All right, join us. Actually, I just realized next weekend's Easter, so we probably won't.
I mean,
So-
I'll be around.
I won't.
Okay, never mind.
So we'll
see you in a week.
We'll see you all in a week for the next session, 6:30 Monday. Join us and see how this encounter goes with this trapped bridge and with Captain Hastings and your ruse to try to get more information out of him. All right, folks, we will have a good week. We'll see you all soon. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night, night.
Alright.